Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching this live stream with the Italian Mr. M.
Buongiorno. The Italian Mr. M is another one.
You speak Italian, right?
Born and raised in Lake Como, yes. Guilty as charged.
Oh, damn. Yes, well, his name's Maurizio. I mean, this is not the common North American name, right? So...
Yeah, it's funny because they have the Mauricio with the C, which is Spanish, but I have the Z, so Maurizio is pretty much Italian, yeah. Born and raised for 21 years in Italy, so.
So how do you enjoy Lake Como? I heard it's a great place to visit and vacation.
It is, just go in summer, and make sure to go to Garda as well. They're not far, and probably Garda is different. It's more kind of raw, but both interesting. So summer, you can spend maybe 10 days there.
Nice.
Go to Bellagio in the middle of the lake. It's nice.
All right. So, well, you guys came here to find out how not to secure your bloodline with crypto, right?
Exactly.
Well, you just don't buy Bitcoin. That's all.
Exactly. Like Rafa says, another day in the jungle.
you go into the trenches and you buy meme coins with all the money you've got. There you go, right? I think that would pretty much cover it.
Yeah, all in. Well, if you would have gone all in Fartcoin, hey, no financial advice.
No financial advice, exactly. But still, come on.
Well.
Like, I mean, I always get that message, right? Da Vinci, can you give me a coin that's going to make me rich, right, tomorrow? They don't say tomorrow, but that's what they mean.
Yeah.
Right?
I bought now, well, Lambo.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I mean, like, some people would say, well, not tomorrow. Next month.
Next week.
Exactly.
Damn. It's full of degenerate gamblers.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Exactly.
Think about this. Bitcoin goes on average is 50% a year. How that is not enough?
Exactly. I mean, come on. And let's just say you wait 10 years and it's actually dropped to 25% a year. You still did better.
Yeah.
Right? Than most.
Than everything else, yeah.
Right? So that's an incredible increase in your wealth over 10 years, 25% a year.
Yeah, massive. It's compounding. Daniel, prepare for screenshots. Yes, that's spirit, Daniel. Load it up.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what. Here's the thing. Let's just say I do give you a coin that's gonna do 100x, right? And it does 100x. You know what's going to happen? You're going to be like this guy.
Screenshots. Look, I've reached. And it's gone.
Yes. And I told this one girl to buy Brett when it was really low. And she bought it, but never sold.
Yeah, of course.
And then she's like, I thought you were going to tell me when to sell. What?
Well, even if you would have told her, she wouldn't have sold it.
Exactly.
Because she would have taken screenshots. That's how it works.
Exactly.
That's how it works. And by the way, even in the event of people taking money, profit into kind of fiat, they would burn fiat in useless stuff like cars, watches, clothing, whatever.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's another thing you need to learn how to do is save, right? And so you have to have a set of Bitcoin and crypto or savings that I'm never going to touch, right? So for example, let's pretend, right, that I have like a large pool of money that I can like spend with right now. Right? And if that pool disappeared, I was like wiped out, right? Let's just say maybe I got 50K or left over. What I would do is sell my car, sell everything, and move to something smaller and not touch my Bitcoin stash that's for permanent savings. Not even think about touching it. I'd be the richest poor man on the block.
Until the next cycle,
exactly.
Right? Yeah, I agree.
You get it? That's how you're supposed to look at savings.
You live just below your manners, right?
That too. But and so that's what you need to do, right? You need to like go, okay, fine. I'm screwed. I need to live within and then save. Keep putting that. Put. Every time I put a little bit of Bitcoin there, it's permanently there. It's not coming out. Period.
100%. By the way, I've just realized both Rumble and Twitter gave us an error, so we are only on YouTube today.
Ooh, snap.
Okay, it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have to smash the like button, guys, because we are not streaming on X, neither on Rumble. So all in on YouTube.
So it is what it is.
It is what it is. What's happening today?
Yeah, bad luck, right? Hopefully the YouTuber, the X and Rumblers come over. Anyways,
Exactly.
right? So the best way to secure your bloodline is to save Bitcoin long term. That's it, right? Can you imagine being the pizza guy? Never, you know, guys. And if you sell, like, this is what happens. Like, all my family members are pizza guys. Every single one of them, because they sold out at some point, and they never bought back. They sold everything. Even though I told them to sell half, I'm just like, no, getting out. Wait until it come back down. It is what it is.
I mean, back then, though, it was, I mean, you know better than anybody, right? It was much harder to be fully into the Bitcoin because it was less well known and the price was lower and it was more quote unquote risky. But nowadays, you have no excuses, right?
Yeah, well, my father got in when it was like 20,000. It was like, now he's selling, right?
Yeah.
Make
I
no
guess
sense.
I know. I had a lot of friends as well. They sold
Everything, yeah.
They sold at 80, 70. And they say, oh, well, I don't care. I made my money. It's now I can buy the car I always wanted. And hey, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, nobody thinks about the long term, and this is what makes you poor, right? That's the only reason I'm rich, right? After telling people to buy Bitcoin at $1, and people are saying, yeah, this guy did well, but he's just lucky. Just got lucky. Yeah, dude. I had to walk through hell and watch prices go down and up and crazy, left, right, and center, and not sell. And I watched my friends get this car and that car and not sell. That's what I had to do. That was work.
But that's why you're a legend.
Right? Yeah. Jesus. And that's what work you need to do. Anyways, with that said, hit the like, guys. Hit the subscribe. It's got 31 likes. Thank you very much. And
Amazing.
let's head over to Mr. M's podcast and join us over there because he's going to... You got a few people up your sleeve, don't you?
This week is going to be epic. So tonight I'm recording with Giovanni, which is the inventor of the power law. It's going to be a good chat. And as you can see, we smashed 19,000. So we are about 800 and something away from 20K.
Wow, look at the linen one.
Yeah, it's going 17,000, I think. It's going really good. So it's going up. The one in the middle with the founder of the Bitcoin Prague conference has not gone as I thought it would have gone. It's an interesting chat. And that one I uploaded last night is doing really well. So
Yeah, awesome.
happy days.
Yes. All right, so if you went through the altcoin season in 2021, it was more than just that, man. It was like getting naked on you, man. Now today, it's like it's just smacking you in the head.
That's pretty much what's going on with the altcoin season, right? And it's not going to get any better
No,
anytime soon, right?
not yet.
So
not yet.
more slaps in the faces.
That's for Bitcoin, right?
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. This is interesting if you think about Bitcoin. I love Quinton says patience, right? So we are here. That's kind of accurate, maybe a little bit higher, I would say. But I think we are indeed missing a big move on the upside. And how about the cycles are gone forever?
Interesting thought process. Cycle's gone forever. Is it a possibility? Yes, it is. We have institutional players, right, in the space. And it'll be a little bit tough for them to take a 60% hit, right?
Which they most likely won't let it happen.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah.
So
For us, it's like whatever. We're like crypto bros, man.
Exactly.
We've been through that 60%, 80% drawdown. We're like,
it's just not a screenshot. Who cares? It's just another screenshot, right?
exactly. But I don't think an institutional player can handle that.
No. They'll vomit their soul.
I don't think so.
So they will try to keep it to a level which is not as 60%, right? And maybe that's why we haven't seen. I just wanted to ask you. Maybe that's why we haven't seen those violent moves in, because it's going to be more mellow.
Exactly.
In both directions.
Yeah.
Maybe we're going up forever. Who knows?
Possibly. Yeah.
That's another indicator here. This is the M2, and you can see we are following this to the T. Now, I think this is when this was posted. Okay, a few days ago, I chosen this one to highlight the fact that we have indeed corrected on the downside.
Yeah, see, this was exactly correction, and then we got the second correct V bottom, and maybe
Maybe we're going to 120 now.
exactly
Before we correct down to 112 or whatever that number.
exactly right, to retest the high, previous high that we just broke down from, right? So yeah, damn, if that happens, man, Jesus, this is going to show that the dollar is useless, right?
Yeah, we kind of.
But that's already given. It's just we're just showing you another evidence of that, right? That
Doubling down on that. Yeah, but this could very much happen. I mean, so far we've been following the M2 supply to the T. So, I mean, like I said, I just wanted to show this indeed happened, and maybe now we are pumping to 120. It would be extremely weird because usually summer is kind of quiet.
yeah, it would be weird, but yeah, let's see.
But maybe we're gonna follow that indeed.
Gold party. What?
Yeah. So $2 trillion asset class. You can see. Not only
Parity.
did we hold 100K, we also bounced off the 2 trillion market cap. So, okay. Kind of measuring the market cap as opposed to, and as you can see, we've got a tiny bounce there. I mean, I don't know if we got rejected or we're going to bounce off that one. I guess we'll figure it out soon.
Well, we're heading to gold parity, right?
Yeah.
That may not be this year, right? That'd be crazy if that happened, right? 10x from here.
You know, I had a guest on and he's convinced, 100% convinced that we're going to $1 million in the next 10 months. I'm like, okay, well, the pipe is high, but hey, you know, I have a much more conservative target, but I won't complain. Will you complain if we get to $1 million in 10 months?
I mean, I was expecting $1 million in 2021.
I
but
know, same. Yeah, it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. So
Yet.
exactly yet.
I mean, Michael
So-
Saylor has a 13 million by 2030.
So it's a higher probability now, though, that we get to $1 million because of the the Michael Saylor's copycats, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the Nakamoto.
It's not gold party; it's gold parity.
Exactly. We're gonna go and catch it. And we have indeed seen 100K, and like you said, I was expecting 100K way before that happened. But the most important thing is it happened.
Yeah, I remember the day that the Bitcoin passed gold, right, and then came back down. Right, this is right here where it came up past gold price, and then it came back down.
Yeah.
That was like, I remember back here.
Yeah.
When I said it was gonna pass gold, people thought I was freaking nuts. I said it's gonna pass gold. They still thought I was nuts here.
But it did.
Like,
Who's laughing now?
yeah, exactly.
But again, if you look at this chart, how can you think that this is the top for the cycle? It doesn't make sense. Like, okay, how about this? A bit of a crazy theory, okay? So, do you see this top here? I don't think people can see it, but that top there.
Which one? Right here?
Yeah, that one. That one to the other top, which some people are saying is the first one, some people are saying the second one. And there was something in between, this one in between. What if now I know it's crazy, but what if the 4-year cycles are going to become 8-year cycles? And where we are now, we are in that middle there.
So this was 8-year cycle from here.
Yes. How about this? I don't think anyone has been talking about this, but it could. I know the hopium is high.
The hopium's high with this one.
Because technically that would indicate that this point here in the middle is where we are now, because it's 8 years now, it's not 4 anymore. So that means we're going higher. It could go higher. How do you feel about that?
Damn, Jay. That'd be interesting, yeah, because this was like, we didn't believe that this was the end of the bull cycle, even though I remember sitting down with everybody in the crypto space saying, all the indicators are flashed that this is the top. But there's no way this is the top.
Yeah. It was
Every single indicator.
it was way too early, right?
It's way too early.
And then we dumped, we're going to whatever, and then it pumped again. So I think where we are now, we are in the middle of it, and we have another 4 years ahead before we top. I know it's crazy, but I just like it's a Monday.
But the interesting thing is none of the same indicators are flashing over here, like the, what's it called? The pi cycle indicator?
Yeah, yeah, you sent it to me last night. No?
None of them, right? And so it's like, what?
But we are still far from that one, even on the pi. What's the pi top is 120 something, 128?
Yeah, something like that. And I can't remember now. But anyways, we're not close to it yet. But, you know, that hasn't even flashed. So it's like, what the hell, people? What the hell?
I know.
There's no signals yet that indicates, like, the what's it called? The fear and greed is not at 90%. Right?
That's crazy, right?
It is what it is. All right, so let's play this clip here.
Quantum computing at some point could break the algorithm for Bitcoin? Are there countermeasures that they could be put in? You probably understand what I'm asking you. Do you worry about that? You look like you slept okay. You look like you slept okay last night.
It's mainly marketing by people that want to sell you the next quantum yo-yo token. But look, Google and Microsoft aren't going to sell you a quantum computer that cracks modern cryptography because it would destroy Google and Microsoft and the US government and the banking system. And at some point, I don't think it's this year, next year, in the next 5 years, but sometime 10, 20 years out, if there's a hyper powerful computer that threatens modern cryptography, the answer is Bitcoin network hardware upgrades, Bitcoin network software upgrades, just like Microsoft, Google, the US government upgrade all their messaging and banking applications. The key for everybody is Bitcoin's a protocol like the English language and base 10 math. When the quantum computer breaks your calculator and breaks your messaging app, you're not learning base 16 math and you're not going to switch to a different language. You're just going to upgrade your software. And Bitcoin's a monetary protocol. We're just going to upgrade the software, Joe.
Wow.
Joe is like, okay, I just
know that around. Actually, they know less than I do, I think. But so there are countermeasures to deal with that.
You know, if I wanted to hack your Bitcoin, I'd send you an email saying a quantum computer can hack your Bitcoin. Click on the link to upgrade now, and then I'd steal your Bitcoin. It's 10,000 times more likely I'm phishing you than there is a threat. So now I'm not worried about it. Bitcoin's a protocol. The software gets upgraded every year. The hardware is being upgraded continuously, and it's the hardest thing in the universe to hack. They will hack your banking system, your Google account, your Microsoft account, and every other asset you have, you know, much sooner because they're an order of magnitude weaker.
Okay, great. On Halloween, what color tie do you wear?
Look, we're all orange. It's the orange.
It's
wave,
always
Joe.
orange. So even on Halloween, it's just an orangey. Orangey.
I love Joe, by the way.
Okay, I'm going to explain something to you guys, for the dumb, deaf, and retarded out there, right? Already, Bitcoin is quantum safe if you use it properly, right? It is quantum safe if you use it properly. So what does using it properly mean? It means you don't reuse the same address. Bitcoin wallets automatically, but when you spend something from any Bitcoin address, it sends everything out and puts it into a new address. Why does it do that? Because in a new address, the public key is not available. And if the public key is not available, no one can break the encryption. They need to take the public key in order to reverse it to get the private key, which is what you use to sign the transaction to send it to someone else. Right? That's it. Now, I could explain exactly how that works, but I've done it millions of times. So watch some of my videos, right? And maybe I'll explain it again in another video. So hit the like, hit the subscribe, right? And keep watching.
There you go. Nice and easy. I also love what you said about the phishing thing. It's more likely that someone is going to send you an email making you click on a link, which you should never do, by the way, and they'll take all your Bitcoin, then Bitcoin itself is going to get hacked.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't worry either. All right, this is one of the most depressing charts I've seen in a while.
So buy some alts to not secure your bloodline.
Yeah. Damn, man, I was not expecting this to happen.
I'm kidding, but I mean, it's the lows. You could honestly, you could probably start buying some of the alts right
It
now,
could go lower.
and it could go lower. But at least, right, that there will be probably a turning point for the alts. You're gonna have to start buying here and there, nibble here. Let me see, nibble here, nibble there. Okay, wait for it to go down a little bit more, then nibble some more, nibble some more. But you have to have a plan, and the plan has to be the little old lady strategy.
Take screenshots.
Yeah, exactly. yeah. And that's how you secure the bloodline with those pictures of how much you've got,
One picture
how
at
much
a
you
time.
had, how much you had. This is what your grandpa would have had if you just sold.
Exactly. One picture at a time. That's how
God damn.
secure. No, but true. Jokes aside, do the whole little old lady. You know, when it doubles, sell half, right? 100%.
Exactly. Because like, if you don't have a plan, you're going to lose, right? So, for example, like in the example where I told her to buy Brett, and then she didn't actually have a selling plan, so she didn't sell. It's not like it's too late. I mean, she can now Brett's up again, so she's probably made some money. But I bet you she hasn't sold, so maybe I should call her.
But by the way, I did sell half of my agent or whatever the thing was called. So I did listen to you in the end. You know?
Fine.
Now I'm here.
How's
joking.
it doing, anyways?
It's holding.
Yeah?
It's holding okay, but I sold half. So, you know.
Do we have someone in our portfolio? Well,
We do,
check.
yeah. We do. We can check in the VGen session. I mean, after all, it was like a $50 into $3,000. So I had to sell some, right?
Yeah, you were doing screenshots for
Thank you. Just keep sending you screenshots.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's going higher. It's going higher. It's like, dude, sell. And then it crashed, remember?
Yeah, exactly. And I remember the head and shoulders, or what was it, the double top or something, and I was like, dude, man. It's
Yeah. I remember that. And I was like, no, it's not head and shoulder. It's not on it. And then it was, it's got down to, I don't know, it's $500 or something. Then it pumped again, so I sold on the second one. But lucky that it pumped
Yeah,
again.
exactly. Because, it could have went the other way, right? Permanently down.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, speaking about meme coins.
Man, we missed on this because
I know, heavy.
everything happened at night and we stream in the morning. And I was like, oh man, we missed this. 2 billion market cap.
Damn.
It's crazy.
Damn.
Just
gee.
because they
Which one? The KBBB? Kid Big Beautiful Bill? What?
Yeah,
Or,
I think,
Musk?
I think one of those has gone. I hate this. One of those has gone extremely high on a. But there's been a bunch, right? So they've done the Kill Bill, they've done the official Musk, they've done the fight between Elon, the X party, because of course Elon said we're gonna launch a new political party, blah blah blah. The 80%, boom, another meme coin. It's just they're popping non-stop. But I wouldn't go near these now. We just missed the initial pump, right? This you have to be like a degenerate.
Yeah. Let's get degenerate then. This you gotta be like degenerate. You're calling us. You're calling us.
Hello. Yeah, what have we been doing for the past I don't know, 10 months or so? Yeah, I guess one of the challenges we are having is everything happens at night, which is when we are not streaming and we are missing all those pumps. But hey, it's the time zone we are in.
Exactly.
Nothing we can do about.
Alrighty. Well, we'll still try to secure our bloodline with one of these tokens, right?
Yeah, 500%. We can front run them.
Exactly. Or be exit liquidity. I don't know. Which one do you think you're gonna be? We're gonna be.
Let me think.
Stupid.
Oh boy. I mean, back into greed, which is not terrible because we've seen a little pump. Well, you know why? Because Sailor said more orange. So, well, guess what's going to happen today? It's going to buy more Bitcoin.
I think so. I think there's going to be a lot of Bitcoins being purchased by some companies out there in the next little while, for the next long while. So I'm wondering, should that actually cause the price to go down or cause the price to go up?
That's a difficult one to answer. I don't know, It's difficult to guess.
Yeah, exactly. Difficult. Oh, speaking about selling. Oof.
Okay, Friday was not a fun day. Even Thursday,
down.
to be honest. Yeah, we haven't covered Thursday
Going down.
either.
We're going down.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a bit of a selling pressure from BlackRock, which it doesn't happen very often. But look at the 30th of May, 2nd of June. Like, they sold 430 million. Damn. That's a big sell. I mean, they didn't let the people, they had the ETF, right? But still.
But what's interesting here is that as these newbies sell, somebody else is buying. Some other companies and countries, and they're buying. Or maybe the ETF is like, okay, you sell, we keep.
That's 100% what's happening. When people in BlackRock are selling, BlackRock is going, you know what? Take the fiat, we keep the asset. Thank you very much.
We got a pretty press for that.
Because otherwise it doesn't explain how this is going up. This
Exactly.
should go down.
This is up 0.3%.
In what, 2-3
Yeah,
weeks?
exactly.
That's crazy. That means it's doing like 1% every month and a half? Mm-hmm. Jeez. So how? Like this should have gone down.
Yeah.
So clearly the ETF are keeping the Bitcoins and selling you the fiat.
Jesus.
So you want to get out? No problem.
Didn't all these companies that signed up for the Michael Saylor strategy, they want all 5%? They each want 5%.
Yeah, you're black. Let's do some math. Okay, 5% to Saylor, check. 5% to Jack Dorsey, check.
Okay.
5% to Nakamoto, check.
GameStop,
okay, well, that's
right?
like, yeah, if that's 15, that's 20 already.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
What?
It's not possible. So maybe that's the plan, but the thing is,
Exactly.
at what cost? By the way, this is, look, June 6. Today is June 9, so this is probably higher.
Wow, that's the beautiful thing, man, about them all wanting to get high percentage of Bitcoin. Somehow, I don't think they can do that.
No.
So I'm
I
considering.
was going to tell them. Guys, I appreciate the idea, but it's a big but. Math,
Yes,
should make sense.
Somebody should tell them there's a fixed limit.
Yeah. 5% is a bit of a stretch. But hey, I appreciate the effort, So I don't know. Not even mentioning that BlackRock now is recommending institutions to go 2% of their capital
Exactly.
into Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So 2% here, 5%
Yeah,
there.
they get 2% of the Bitcoins, right? Wait. Then let's see if all the corporations could get 2% of the Bitcoin.
Yeah, how? I mean, 100 is the cap, as far as I know.
100%, yeah. Exactly. Unless there's some way to get more than 100%, which there is actually, technically.
Technically,
You
yeah.
just don't actually have Bitcoin, though.
Yeah.
Just like they do for gold.
Paper Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you could go over the total supply, right?
Yeah.
I'll promise you, Bitcoin, but not only pay you out in cash.
Yeah.
Right, 'cause-
But I promise.
But I promise you,
Yeah.
Bitcoin, right? And so, but technically, legally, let's just say you sue me for Bitcoins. You're like, yeah, I didn't have it. Sorry, but I got a printing press thingy.
Exactly. I can give you money.
Give you a lot of those dollars.
It's funny, but this is how it's going to end.
Exactly.
It's oof. So no financial advice, but get yourself self-custody before it's getting ugly, right?
Yeah, so we will see that happen. This goes over 100%.
Yeah, 150. A lot of promises.
Oh, dude.
Trust me, bro. I have
Trust
your
me, bro.
Bitcoin.
Trust me, bro.
I have it. Damn, a lot of people are getting hurt. But hey, it is what it is. June is back in green. I mean, I know it's on, 1%, but hey, I'll take it. So what happened to sell in May and go away? Well, nobody sold in May.
Exactly.
There are 11% there.
And June, nice. I like it. You know what? I think, right, looking at the charts, I know I showed you guys, watched it. Early on the show, I did a video. Earlier today, I did a video. Look at this. Bitcoin doesn't like V bottoms, so this is interesting, though. You see this V bottom? This matches what we saw here, right? What was it? Where is it? Right No, right there. There.
Yep.
Interesting, right?
Very interesting. And every time there is a V bottom, that could print a inverse head and shoulder, right?
Yeah, we're trapped in this zone here. This
The red lines.
this is the trend line, the trend zone, right? But interesting. I wonder. Hey, you know what? Let me just. I just saw something here.
Ooh,
I
okay.
want to see if this is true. No. Really?
Oh, that's another line right there.
Oh, shame.
Damn.
Shame.
What is 117?
Shame.
The top of that.
This is called the. So what you can do once you see that pattern, right? And you just happen to just like see that, what you can see is where the next level is going to be.
That means we are in business. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's another one there. Okay.
These are called parking garages, and the market likes to trade inside those parking garages.
Okay.
So you can see where your target level will be.
So whenever we break and or retest, you
Yeah.
can long and or short.
There you go.
Okay.
Mish.
Maybe we should do a live. Guys, let us know if you want us to do more live trades and that kind of stuff. Maybe we can think about it. But yeah, it's a good spot.
All right, so we're gonna get into the section.
Towels and soaps are ready.
Hopefully, you guys are prepared for what is about to happen. You know, when we had guests on here, they'd be like,
In disbelief. It's like, whatever. I remember Ton. He was so confused. Like, I don't know what I'm doing here. But then he said, I
Yeah,
like it. Yeah, it's
I know he did. He did say, I don't know why I'm here, but I like it.
Yes, that's what we kind of feel like, right? Mm-hmm. Ooh, okay. I've seen a number and then he's going to another number.
What?
We're coming back.
Yeah.
Okay. That was when
Little
you
John. Okay. What?
when you open it up, it was at 7. I almost fainted. But
Ooh, little kitty. Hello, kitty. Hello, kitty.
okay,
Well, let's do some TA on Hello Kitty.
that's definitely a solid. Look at that inverse head and shoulder there. Boom.
Where? This one right here?
Yeah, that one. No,
I
it
guess.
played out right.
I guess because it's not dead. Yeah, you're right. Here's so just for those people who are like not like seeing it, it's not the greatest head and shoulders. You could say it's right here.
It's kind of wobbly, but it kind of
Yeah,
played out.
it's hard to it's hard to count it because here's why. It didn't come back to retest the neckline here, right? Mm-hmm. This neckline, so it's like
But it's kind of weak.
so you could bring it down and say, okay, well, I'm gonna bring this thing down and say that's the head and shoulders, I guess. And so you can go, okay, but again, it broke the neckline here, so it's like
it's not great.
a lot. It's not great. It's not great at all. So
But weirdly, kind of. I mean, he pumped a little bit after.
what you
because-
could do is this is a nice Wing action here, right? And so you can take this instead, right? Which would count, right? And so if you take this Wing action, you can say this thing could break out and go that way
to the all-time high.
to all-time high. And so that would be one way to look at it. And you can see that we didn't break this little shoulder here, if you want to call that a shoulder. And so that didn't invalidate. Well, I mean, it doesn't invalidate the upward trend, but you'd have to invalidate it from this level here, right? But yeah, and you can see there's a nice double bottom here.
Yeah. So maybe we
There's
should,
a lot of positivity.
Maybe
a lot
we should
of
go
positivity.
in and we should
Yeah.
double down on this. Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of positivity on this. So, yeah, let's double down on that. Right?
nice.
All right.
How much did we buy? Like 0.15
I don't
or
know.
something?
We didn't buy much on this, but yeah, let's just
We're going like
let's go
0.25
balls deep.
0.5?
Balls deep.
Nice. Exactly. It could go higher. I love that you guys, you know all the jokes. By the way, keep asking questions, please, because there's going to be a Q&A segment at the end. So I'm saving some already. Poor guests. Yeah, I know, Thiago.
Let's go balls deep and go for 0.75, right? Yeah.
Let's do it. Hello Kitty. It's a solid.
Hello, Kitty.
It's a solid buy. Sorry, guys. Don't buy any of this. By
Yeah,
the
exactly.
way. By the way, disclaimer.
Yeah, especially when you guys don't have a plan to deal with these things go to zero, right? So, for example, if this goes to zero, my whole portfolio goes to zero. It's not a big deal, right? I mean, come on. I have this portfolio, right? Which, hang on, let me just.
A more quote unquote solid portfolio, right? These are casino money. We don't.
Oops.
Just saving some questions for later, by the way.
There we go. I have this portfolio, which it was 47,000. And I could have, when Bitcoin was a lot lower, and I should have liquidated it all for Bitcoin. You see how that was? Because when it was 47,000, right? Bitcoin was a lot lower, under 90,000. And look what happened. Look what happened to me. Instead of like, it was right here when I was 47. Instead of me taking my Bitcoin, taking that cash, putting it into Bitcoin and watching my wealth increase significantly, I kept it in these altcoins.
But you know that portfolio you have there could go to 4 million. I mean, 10x is not crazy.
I'm telling you. I'm gonna tell you guys again, because I've told you guys once, I've told you guys twice, I've told you guys, I don't know, umpteen times I've been doing these videos. This is going to 6%, right? But that's not all. Once it gets there, it's gonna be a quick shot. I don't know about how quick, but maybe inside this range here. But if it doesn't stay in this range, it goes into this range. We could get as early as September or as late as December, all the way to 74%, wiping you out just because you hold meme coins and cryptocurrencies, other cryptocurrencies other than Bitcoin.
Yeah, anything else? Damn. I mean, it does make sense also from a, if you think about where the market is going with all those companies and treasuries and all that kind of stuff, going to push the dominance and then potentially trigger an altcoin season after we reach the 70-ish.
Yeah, 74, there's going to be a fail for sure. For sure.
Yeah, but from
It's not
here,
breaking
there's a big move from here. It's like, what, 10%? So, yeah.
And you can see the fail will come back down to this red line or to most likely to the green one, right?
To where we are now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a bad plan. And if you would have done it, you would have made so much more money. Because when you measure your altcoin in Bitcoin, everything changes. So again, you know, people are saying, oh, Ethereum has pumped more than Bitcoin in the last 30 days. Yeah, but it's down freaking, I don't know, 80%. So who cares if it pumps 5%? It's still down 80 or 75 in this case. So, yeah.
Game over, man. Game over. All right. Well, let's see. Okay. With that said, let's go back to our did we buy? We already bought the Hello Kitty.
I think we did. Yeah, 70.75. No.
Yeah. There it is. So let's put some protection on her.
Put protection on Hello Kitty. I would have gone in.
Raw?
Yeah.
Inside of a kitty?
It's not just a kitty. It's Hello Kitty. Sorry, guys. Actually, no, we are not sorry.
No, we're not sorry. Sorry, we're not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Oh, damn.
We're going to keep some in, right? We're not going to sell all of it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We'll keep a little
Say
bit.
50% in.
Jesus. That's degenerate, man. Degenerate.
I was doing math.
That's serious degeneracy.
Sorry, again. Yeah, it's Monday, right? Whatever.
Damn.
Cool. Let's do the kitty thing. Nice.
You're just going to put the tip in.
Yeah.
Soap and towels, folks. Soap and towels.
So for towels, it is what it is. Hey, as long as we are in, we're winning. Right?
exactly.
So Okay, cool. So this is not gonna rag on us,
No,
right?
no, I don't think so. I mean, we could, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, we're on the freaking hourly.
5 minutes.
We're on the hourly here. We're on the hourly.
Hey, everything looks super solid. So until it's not, right?
Exactly. So,
I mean, yeah, I thought we were looking at the 5 minutes. So 1 hour is super bullish. We're gonna be alright on this one. Okay.
wow.
What
Okay.
about the Bitcoin?
Bitcoin. We were looking at the seeing if it was going to come back down.
Kind of. Not exactly what we want it to be. But
I wonder, can we place a
buying order.
buying order? I think there is, but not on Jupiter. I think on what's it called? The other one. Radium.
Yes, I think you can
Yeah.
You can do it there.
So this
You're doing
is
buying order on meme coins. Then it's getting tactical.
I know.
Very
Exactly.
tactical. Okay. I mean, I'm not hating it. You know, there could be benefits. doing
Radium
that.
swap. What do you think? Should we do that? Should we get tactical
Yeah,
and
why
just
not?
put a tactical hit?
I mean, I would do it for the Bitcoin.
Because there's some serious support down here for the tits, right?
We want to get in.
There's some cuppage happening there.
We want to definitely get in.
Yes, we want to hold it up, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna be holding it up with our
Bare
money.
hands. I like it.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to have to looking at this at the price in at prices with Sol.
Yeah, in Solana. I mean, we're not that far from that point anyway, right?
Let's take a look where that is on Solana. It's right about
Oh, well, it's still a bit far, but
yeah.
how much that would be in percentage? Do you know?
Yeah, it's about 20%.
Okay.
So yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I'm down.
That's the first time. This is the first time we've ever done this, folks. So
Yeah.
don't do this at home.
Oh no, yeah. don't do that. Just
Oh man, let's see here.
buy Bitcoin.
What
right?
what is this? Buy okay, perpetuals swaps. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to do this in Radium. Okay,
I have no idea. I've never done it before.
no, there is a way in Radium. It's just I'm missing it.
How is that more?
Links.
There's a more button that maybe
For a
is-
link, right? These are charts.
How about that more over
Yeah,
there?
yeah. Disclaimer, staking,
No.
portfolio, liquidity.
Maybe we need a different.
But I could have swore I saw this in when I was doing it on the phone.
Maybe the app has it, and maybe not the website. Interesting.
It's weird
Bridge staking.
because I saw it there. Liquidity, that's to provide liquidity.
What if you go swap? Yes. Do you have options into swap, like swap now, swap later, or a price? No.
Maybe we need to connect your wallet or something like that. I don't know. God.
Let's see.
Rewards, no. I don't see it here.
No, me neither.
It's weird.
Maybe we need a tool or
Maybe
something.
I didn't see it. Maybe it doesn't exist. Maybe
it's
I
one
was
of
just seeing a phantom.
Maybe we need one of those DEX tools and all one of those. I don't know.
I don't know. But I saw it here before.
Well, I guess we have to go old school. And
Because Radium has like an option to just constantly buy.
yeah,
I've seen it.
The DCA thing.
The
yeah.
DCA. Right?
Maybe the
Was it Radium or Jupiter?
Jupiter has it also.
Really? Then why are we not seeing it? Are we we're just stupider? Reoccurring. Oh, that's where it is. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know if that if
This is it. This is it. This
you
is
can
it.
do it from there.
Yes. So what we can do, right?
Oh, you do a recurring only at a price point.
Exactly.
Ah, I see.
That's it. That's it. There we go. And And then, okay, so we got to swap because we need the Solana. We're going to buy 0.25, right? How many times? We want to buy this, yes. How many orders? Every minute, 2 orders.
Minimum price.
Max price would be the price that we want to buy it at.
Would it be in Solana then, right?
Yes, Solana. 00, let's just say 0085. Yeah. We're providing support for the tits.
Nice. 85. 00085.
There's another 0, right? Let me just make sure. How many zeros is there?
I can't see that far.
There's 4 zeros? Yeah, 4 zeros. Eight, 515.
Perfect. Boom.
Oh, so wait a second here. Did it not? Is there something? Did we increase orders? Allocation orders is $100. Okay. Fine.
Okay. We need to do.
Fine.
Boom.
We'll go heavy.
Boom.
Go heavy. Go heavy.
Okay, so this is gonna do 2 Solana. It's doing 2 buys, right?
No. 1 Solana, 2 orders.
2 orders. Okay. Perfect. So in 1 minute.
Damn. All right, we're going heavy in the tits.
Nice.
Should we go that heavy? Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you so much for all the questions, guys. I'm saving them for the Q&A.
Can't believe we did that.
Ones.
Okay, let's take a look at what Peppa Peeps. Ooh.
$118 volume. Hello. Peppa Peep going in deep.
Damn, Jake.
Okay. How's our bag looking? I mean, we should be in profit, no?
I don't know.
I know we never sell this, but
Peppa Peep, see, the problem is there's not enough volume, right, for it to show up on the charts.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just in stealth.
We have to add the volume ourselves, right, by buying some.
The only way to see how much you have is buy more.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
Exactly.
Not degenerate at all.
Not at all.
Okay, we're going in deep with this. Let's see what's happening. But this came back from the grave, by the way.
0.1 gives us 500,000 of these, man.
Jeez.
Wow. We got $800,000 worth, right? No, $800, not 800,000.
Okay.
See, it's not even showing up now.
Dang.
There it is, number one.
Number one, 900. we gotta get to 1,000.
Yeah.
Slowly and steady. Okay. Hey, maybe this is gonna.
It could go higher. Stupid.
This could be $9,000.
Let's do a screenshot.
Let's take a screenshot. This could be $10,000
For sure.
one day.
For sure.
$10,000.
For sure.
How many millions of people we have now?
We have 30 million.
Jeez, are we still the top three holders?
For sure.
Yeah, now we keep adding volume.
Look, we're 3%.
Jeez. We got 3% of Peppa Peep. Nice.
Yeah, then we just need 3% Bitcoin.
That's a strategy, man. Peppa Peep is going to retire the bloodline.
For sure.
That's what's going to happen. All right, we have a super chat. Well, thank you so much, Sheepman. And he's asking, Bitcoin 300K plus this run, Ethereum 20K. Is it possible?
Yeah.
It's not crazy.
Nah, Ethereum 20K. I don't know about that. I'm gonna have a hard time saying yeah to that. You know what? I noticed this camera is not quite right. Oh well.
No, I'll fix it later.
Oh, we're gonna have to fix it next time.
I mean, Bitcoin 300K, I mean, possible. Ethereum 20 though, oof. So that would be, I mean, we are at $2,500 as we speak. So that would require 10x-ish. But it's not crazy. I mean, if you were to set Bitcoin to $1 million and Ethereum to 50K, I would have gone absolutely not. But Ethereum 20, maybe 10. 10 would be a stretch, right?
Yeah. Even 5K would be a stretch.
Even $3,000. Okay, Daryl is saying, if you sell a house and make 100K, should you buy Bitcoin? If yes, why?
Okay. Can I ask you a question? Do you believe your house is going to appreciate in value at 50% per year? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. If your house were to appreciate 50% a year, can you sell it instantly? Yes or no?
No. I'm going to say no to everything here.
Okay.
And by the way, do you own your house?
Yes, exactly. By the way, do you actually own your house, right? If you buy it outright, pay for it outright in cash, and you don't have any monthly payments? Yes or no?
No.
Yeah, you got property taxes.
Yes.
Try not paying that property tax. See what happens.
Exactly. And in the end, I would say, if you buy a house to live into it, that will be a liability. If you buy Bitcoin, that is an asset.
Okay, so does your house, right, have zero cost of holding fees, like, I don't know, maintenance or anything like that?
Oh, no, it costs a lot. Things break, right? Think about, and sometimes every 10 years you have to do the roof thing and really expensive stuff.
Yeah. And so when you because I get into this argument with people all the time. Oh, why pay rent? Why? You're wasting money. Wasting. The bank, if you go to a bank and they tell you say, what should I do? Right? They'll say, one of the things you should do, sir, is buy a house. Save up for a down payment. Do some retirement funds. How about we put together a retirement fund for you here at the bank here. So we're going to do, put in every month this much money to the stocks. Now, do you think listening to what a bank wants you to do is the smart thing for you?
Nope.
Or is the smart thing for the bank?
Yeah. I mean, if you actually do the math on buying a home where you live into, it doesn't make sense financially. It doesn't. You know why? Because, like you always say, it's the missed opportunity. Imagine all the money you are directing into your mortgage. You could have bought Bitcoin with it. 50% a year on average. Right there. Then if you get to a point where you have a lot of money, you want to buy a house.
Hallelujah. Praise the Lord.
So yeah, I would not do that, by the way. But this is not any financial advice. It's just what we think, right?
Exactly. So you do you, we do us, and you will see who wins.
Yeah, good luck going against this one.
Right. All right. So yeah, I think that's it, right? Because you know what, when I was always fighting with people when I was buying gold and silver, right? And then I realized I got to stop fighting. I got to say, listen, I'm going to say this. Let's do what we think is best and let reality be our judge, jury, and financial execution, right? Because there's only one reality, right? If you go down this path, right, where you hold your dollars, and you hold your house, there will be an end result to that. Might be positive, might be negative, right? And same with if you do that with Bitcoin. Might be positive, might be negative. We don't know. But what we do know, there is probabilities, right? What is the probability of the US dollar going to zero sometime in your lifetime or going down extreme amount? What is the probability?
It could go higher.
What is that probability?
It's going higher every day, right?
Yes. It's pretty high, right? That, your dollars would be less in 10 years,
Yeah.
right, than they are today. It's extremely high, that probability. What's the probability that Bitcoin can go to zero? Well, actually, I asked ChatGPT that exact
well,
question.
What did he say?
See here. Let's bring that up in a second. Here, right here, here. There we go. What's the probability of Bitcoin going to zero? Very low. Okay. It's not absolute. It's not absolute. There's no absolutes here.
I like the why it is unlikely.
There's no absolutes here, right? Absolutely not. Right? So you place your bet, right? And then let reality take its course. You bet on houses, well, you know what? If you looked at what happens in hyperinflation, because you have something called history, and most people who don't study history, and they're doomed to repeat it. So if you did decide to do that, right, and not go doom yourself to being repetitive, if you looked into it, you go, oh, so in hyperinflation, where people bought houses with money that they created out of debt, that caused the houses to go extremely down. Not down in dollar, not denominated in the money that they actually borrowed it from, but in value, meaning that they got to able to buy a lot less with the house that they thought was their savings. So whilst they got, like, for example, people in Venezuela are selling their house for quadrillions and not even quadrillion, in some
higher,
stupid number,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's only $10,000 or $50,000, right? So there it is, right? There it is. That's what's going to happen,
Yeah.
right?
I love Rafa goes, my wife clogged the toilet again. In reality.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, if you are a landlord, you know. And by the way, this is also like Da Vinci said in the beginning, it's very subjective. For some people, having a home, it's very important, right? So as long as you know what kind of...
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? That's up to you. That's if you feel comfortable with just a home. Let's just say you bought the house in the mountains and you're farming.
Yeah,
Who cares?
exactly.
Yeah, who cares if it goes to
so-
zero? It's bringing you in your food. You're living off the land. You're doing this. You're doing that. But whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, I do have friends, they own a bunch of properties and they rent them out. And those are indeed assets, but
Exactly.
the headache is
Yeah, exactly.
not my thing.
If you want to do that job, then it's a job. But just keep that in mind. That's a job.
Exactly. And it's a heck of a headache. Where do I store my Bitcoin for long term? Love from France. Bonjour.
Yeah,
that's a good question. You have a bunch of options, right?
Yeah, there's lots of options. I think the best thing to do is to one, put it in a hardware wallet. Two, secure with a metal plate that you could strike in your 12 or 24 words. The reason why you want to do a striking of your 12 words or 24 words into the metal and not using pieces is that in a case of a fire, metal actually warps and bends and stuff like that.
Yep.
And so that could end up causing those pieces to break out, pop everywhere, and then your seed phrase is lost. So
Yep. I do have 50% discount on Stamp Seed. Super good product. I was expecting you saying buy a ledger. Don't buy a ledger.
yeah, no.
But yeah, that's
Treasure's fine.
not an option.
Keystone's good. and there you
Yeah,
go.
that's it. That's
Yeah.
as far as you go.
Yeah, Keystone has some bugs, but if you can manage through living through that, like if you put it to charge and leave it to charge, and then you start to use it, the screen doesn't show up, and you're like, oh my god, it's not turning on. You just hold it down.
And then it goes
you
back.
hold it down until it actually goes into recycling itself. And it's unfortunate that does that. All of my Keystones have that same problem. So
Okay.
they haven't fixed that bug.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sure that they'll be all over it. Will Bitcoin go under 100K? I mean, you talked about 99.
Yeah, it
We've
came
gone
close.
Really close.
It came real close.
Really
and
close
then
to it.
and then didn't quite make it, right? It was almost there.
Almost.
And then, somebody like Michael Saylor decided, fuck no.
Not on today.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Somebody was there saying, yeah, I'm buying everything.
I'm not liking this.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Right.
is there another chance for us to retest that lower level, or have we gone
Well,
off now? What do you think?
Here's the thing, right? I would have not expected this to. This was like you can see low volume, and then all of a sudden low volume buys, right? And then there's high volume right here. So it's kind of weird. This is perpetual contracts, but kind of weird. But okay. I don't know. It looks generally what would happen with these V bottoms that go and retest the bottom, and the person who did this would have to go, okay, I'm
real.
buying.
It's real.
It's on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And then they'd go back up again. And then they'd try to test him again. And he'd be like, yeah, I'm buying.
I told you.
And then he'd run. Then this thing would run from him. That's how it worked.
So it is possible we are going to retest the kind of 90-ish, and then we pop off.
Yeah. Or they try to overwhelm him. They find out who he is and they overwhelm him, right? With, okay, well, I know you can't afford to buy more than this much. So I figure out who you are, figure out how much you've got.
Or I'll spank you down.
Exactly.
And how low that could go.
Exactly. And so that's always a problem, right? With these things when you're speculating, right? So effectively, right, we can end up, cleaning out this liquidity down here, right? The 99 just below the, right? All the way to the 99.
There's a lot of liquidity down there.
Exactly, yeah. So it's hard to say. I think this looks like, right, the buyer is just keep buying. He's buying up here, which was dangerous for him. I don't know. We could see, because he's going to run out, right? And then this thing, I don't know. Let's see.
But again, I mean, as we say all the time, I would not wait for that. If you wish to buy, just DCA, right? That's the best thing you can possibly do. Because otherwise you might end up like the meme skeleton thing. Ethereum 10,000 in the bull run. Well, 10,000 is more likely, but it's
really difficult. It's going to be difficult.
At this point specifically, right?
It's going to be a fight.
It's going to be a fight because what was the all-time high? 4.7? 5K?
Yeah, almost 5K.
There is a lot of people who are going to sell.
Yeah, I know half of people that are ready to sell it that
waiting. Yeah, so and then you think about it, who's coming in and buying Ethereum at $10,000? Who's coming in to save us? I don't know. Difficult to say.
Yeah.
But
so they might not even get to 5,000 because there's so many people
wanting to leave,
ready to leave, right? Unless they got hurt.
Yeah, badly. Unless something unexpected is going to come and we're going to pump stupidly into the
Exactly. There had to be something unexpected, yeah.
That could change potentially everything. But
all right. Anyways, we are running late, so thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. We'll see you guys tomorrow, right, for more questions and answers and more being filthy with
beating up on Altcoin.
Exactly.
And meme coins.
All right. Peace.